Hey ZSR, welcome to this Zelda 2 Randomizer Max Rando tournament matchup between Levelengine and RoseCitySaint. My commentators today are Victor Santa Fe and Frico. How are you guys doing?
Hey, good
That's
evening, everyone. So, yeah, we have tonight's match for the losers bracket round two, according to the challenge page. And I'm joined by Mr. Frico here. So, how are you doing tonight, Mister?
oh, I'm doing fantastic. Looking forward to what should be a very good race between two runners that I'm not quite sure deserve to be in a loser's bracket. But the problem is when you run the races, somebody has to lose. And unfortunately for Level Engine and Rose City Saint, only one is going to be able to move on in the tournament.
Yeah, they're very good players. However, this category is pretty luck based. So yeah, anything can happen. And as you can see, the players will have to place only one gem, and they will start with one hard container. So survivability could be a thing, but yeah, we don't know how long this could be. This could be a 5 minute match, or it could be a 3 hours match. No one knows.
Well, if the daily yesterday is anything to go by, sound your troll and get ready for a long one, but hopefully it won't be quite that bad.
Yeah, let's see what this has in store for us. And players will start at any moment.
For those who may not have seen the weekly race yesterday, we had a zero gem seed, and our first runner was into Great Palace before the 10-minute timer reached 10 minutes. However, here's the problem. They were missing a little spell called Thunder, and that caused a little havoc with the runners, unfortunately, as it took an hour for the runners to finally get Thunder.
Yeah, I was there. I saw it.
I believe you have firsthand knowledge of this.
Yeah.
It looks like Level Engines found a flute.
Yeah, pretty early item in the grass style for both players. And the town you see south of that grass tile is the town of Saria. However, is the backside of it, so they cannot access the other half of it for now.
Well, so no fairy, I assume. Did not see what spells our runners are starting with.
Yeah, they didn't start with any spells, so they need to get those. So Rose City Saint taking a quick peek in Dead Mountain. Not interested. And Graveyard Lady doesn't have hints today. She has been given a lot of hints in this tournament, but not today. While Level Engine in Hard Container Cave. So I just missed what was in Hard Container's cave. Can anyone help me? If they saw or if Level Engine died there or what happened? So I see RoseCitySaint entering Jump Cave, but he declines, and Level Engine entering the town of Saria. From the guy at the entrance. And he's about to get his first spell. While RoseCitySaint taking a quick peek in that mountain, we see there's a free spectacle rock there, but they don't have the hammer. And Level Engine's first spell will be the Reflect spell. Not tremendously helpful, clearly not required in this kind of seed, but we'll see how the players make use of it, because we see RoseCitySaint going for it. However, RoseCitySaint is going to walk a little bit more inside the town of Saria to ask the bot for a hint and go west to find the magic jar. Not a huge hint, but could be helpful, especially if something like thunder ends up being required. So yeah, sorry guys for the inconvenience. I'm gonna try to let you know what's happening. So we see Level Engine entering Hard Container Cave again. So he must have game over previously, and the raft is in there. And thank you, Trails. So yeah, please keep us informed about the quality of the stream. It is very important so we can take actions to try to fix any problems that appear. So RoseCitySaint entering Hard Container Cave 2, and he's gonna pick up his raft.
I think I have a working mic now, but all I see are squirrely circles and frozen streams. So,
So welcome back, and hopefully things get better for you in the video department.
yeah, that's unfortunate times, but oh well, is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, things happen. Last night my internet was acting up real badly, so yeah, it can happen.
Let's see. I think I see a rap spot on RoseCitySaint's side of things, but unfortunately, since I was trying to resolve a audio issue on my end, I don't know if I'm up
Yeah, I
on
think
exactly
you're.
what's happened so far myself, unfortunately.
Yeah, not so much has happened. Both players got the raft, which could be required or not. We still haven't seen locations of palaces so far. And we need a palace, and great palace. So we don't know if the players will have to sail to the Eastern continent or not.
Well, we would still need to find thunder, would we not? Potentially.
We still don't know if thunder is required. However, it has been required a lot in this tournament.
So I guess upstab, downstab, fairy, potentially thunder. We're looking at the standard quality of life items that we would need to get into Great Palace. A glove.
Yep, mostly the glove. That's the one that has the bigger probability of being required. The other ones, is in theory it's a very low probability, but this tournament has been behaving pretty strangely, so we'll see.
Yeah, to put it bluntly, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Not everything.
last year tournament, I believe the rate of appearance of Thunderbird was like 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10, something like that. But in this one, I think it has been way larger than that.
Well, my sources are at best unofficial, but they were saying it was somewhere around 20% for Thunderbird being required.
Okay, so that doesn't sound much different than last year. So yeah, it should be my imagination throwing these things around. So we see RoseCitySaint going through the fairy cave, hoping it lands him into somewhere he hasn't been in the Western continent.
Well,
And
I
there's a 500.
think I saw Levelengine at least peeking into Palace 4, but then slideshow mode engaged, and now he's nowhere near a palace at all. That might be the palace that you kind of identify and say, okay, I'm going to do this one.
Yeah, although he has the reflect spell, I still don't know if it is castable. And also without keys or the fairy spell, Palace 4 is not that bad, but it is not a good idea to take a peek early.
Well, I would still, barring Palace 1 showing up, say, all right, I have Reflect, I have the tools, well, at least, some of them, and just go, all right, do I just go for it here and, say, all right, this is going to be my one that I do, and leave it at that?
Yeah, the good thing about Palace 4 is that it has a possibility of having keys in the lava rooms, the right side dead ends of the palace, and there are 3 of those. So yeah, you can get some keys out of it, but yeah, probability of being key blocked at the beginning of that palace is pretty high. It has a lot of doors, that palace in particular. And RoseCitySaint sailing to the Eastern continent.
Well, I guess the idea of exploring, not a bad one at this point, but I guess we'll see how it ends up working out.
Yeah, I kind of guess he feels like part of the Western continent is blocked or something. So that's why he's going there. And this Eastern continent doesn't look much better, except for a palace, pretty much boot blocked. So yeah, boots could be a thing in this one.
Well, boots, if it's Great Palace, then yes, I agree, boots would definitely be required. If it's not Great Palace, however, that's a different story.
Yeah, the only one we've seen on each player's side is Palace 4. So yeah, we still don't know what's happening in the Eastern continent, but clearly the players haven't been able to find everything in the Western continent. So that's why you see RoseCitySaint in that mountain, and he has found Hammer Cave. So yeah, we'll see if we get some shiny boots there, or a shiny hammer, or something that lets these guys progress somehow.
Oh, RoseCitySaint playing tag with a little boomerang. It's not a frisbee, RoseCitySaint. Don't catch it. And we'll see. Looks like RoseCitySaint taking Life 4, both runners on Life 4, from what I can tell right now.
So yeah, at this point, how things are looking for both players, it seems like the boots are required, and the probable places for those are Hammer Cave, which is the place that RoseCitySaint is in at this moment, Spectacle Rock, which is hammer blocked, and the palace that they have access to, which is Palace 4. And there are the boots for RoseCitySaint. So you need to take a dive into that mountain to progress in this one.
Well, we don't know until RoseCitySaint shows us what that palace is. It could be just any old palace. But wow, I think I've gone on about 10 seconds now of no circly things, and then no sooner do I say that, it starts synchronizing, buffering, and oh, come on. I just can't win tonight, it seems, but oh well.
And RoseCitySaint finds that he cannot go to the northern part of the western continent using the boots, which kind of means that maybe there's another kind of connector in the western continent, like for example the town of Saria, finding Bagu, or getting the fairy spell. And well, both players are in the eastern continent now, and Levelengine is about to find out which palace is in Valley of Death, maybe, while RoseCitySaint picking up an item in a Peaback Cave. And it is the cross for RoseCitySaint, while Levelengine using these encounters to grind some levels, which is not a bad idea at all, especially if something like T-Bird ends up being required.
At this point, I would think without heart containers showing up, at least for the time being, do you prioritize trying to level up life, or do you look at your attack and go, well, if I kill it, it can't hit me?
Yeah, it's a really tough choice. If you end up facing Thunderbird with one heart container, the having life levels won't help you, and yeah, T-Bird is gonna kill you in one hit. So what you want in that case is to have a higher attack level, so the fight is as short as it can be. But T-Bird is not the only problem in Great Palace. There are tons of enemies there, and getting a life level, a high life level, could improve your chances of taking more than one hit to those enemies. So yeah, it's a very tough quest, a very tough choice, but yeah, in most cases, players like RoseCitySaint and me take levels as we get them, because we don't like spending time on those choices.
Oh, I think we may have found one of our issues. It looks like one of the runners was streaming 1080p HD and causing a little bit of a strain on the system. It looks like Bleeding Blue has hopefully resolved the issue, so I really hope we get a smoother sailing from this point forward. All of us in 1983 with our 1080p widescreen displays and all, but oh wait, no, that was back in the day and the age of the 4:3 ratio screens. Looks like RoseCitySaint picking up fire, and he checks it out. I'm not quite sure what it's linked to at this point. It didn't look like jump, certainly wasn't fairy.
Yeah, unless he tries it on enemies, we still don't know what it is. And Levelengine is being a little bit unfortunate here because he entered Death Mountain from the entrance that doesn't lead him to the Hammer Cave quickly as it did for RoseCitySaint. So there's a probability he's gonna be here for quite a bit. And the town of New Kasuto for RoseCitySaint. We need 5 magic containers, and there's Hammer Cave Levelengine. So I'm glad I jinxed the bad luck.
Yeah, get it away from Levelengine.
Yeah.
But it looks like the two enemies, they look like a Moblin and a Gorilla both at the same time, taking the Moblin down, but just like RoseCitySaint before, trying to play catch with the Frisbees, but they're not Frisbees.
And the jump spell for RoseCitySaint, not required, but very helpful in Great Palace.
Well, it may also enable upstab and downstab to be taken at this point, because we don't have fairy otherwise. So...
yeah, and those are required.
Oh, no.
Those could be required.
Levelengine taking a game over. So his foray into Death Mountain was unfortunately stifled for the time being, but it looks like, having seen the Hammer Cave, he'll go for it. RoseCitySaint finding a heart container, so doubling his health there.
Yeah, that's really good news for him. And the town of Darunia, but he's not interested.
I think Levelengine's going to be far more interested in... No, actually... Why wouldn't RoseCitySaint take his jump, but finding Old Kasuto? I guess it was Levelengine that found Darunia.
No, it was...
fairy for RoseCitySaint and Old Kasuto.
And yeah, that's also big news for him. He can do now palaces. But he still needs to find Great Palace. He finds 3 or 6 out in the open. I believe we haven't seen the second palace out in the open, so it could be in Three-Eye Rock or out in the open. And of course there's Valley of Death and Maze Island.
Yeah, we're going to have 2 palaces gated, one by Maze Island, one by Valley of Death. One could be, I believe it's a 50-50 shot, gated behind Three-Eyed Rock, but we have the flute, so...
yeah, that's not a problem.
That's not really a issue of any real concern.
What I'm kind of worried about is the rest of the palaces in the Western continent. And I've been thinking, and Saria could not be a connector because we've seen both sides of it. And so the connectors that are left are Parappa Cave and Jump Cave, and I believe we've seen one of those, one of the entrances of Jump Cave. So now RoseCitySaint with the jump spell, he can progress in the Western continent too. And the glove for RoseCitySaint in a Pivot Cave. Wow.
Yeah, so RoseCitySaint picking up the glove, Levelengine picking up his boots. RoseCitySaint also has Fairy. So we're starting to make some progress here in the way of piecing together the puzzle of, all right, what do I really want to do? I'll get one level from one gem, maybe make that count in some way. But Levelengine, boots equipped, is now gonna start doing some exploring out on the eastern continent.
So yeah, RoseCitySaint looking for Maze Island. He finds a bridge that kind of looks like it, but it is not. And there's the long bridge.
Oh, the long bridge to Maze Island. So let's see what we got here. Oh, and it's Great Palace.
So, yeah, RoseCitySaint takes a nap a day. I believe he's gonna go into Jump Cave to find what the other palaces in the Western continent are. And then he knows he just has to go to Maze Island.
Now, again, I'm not, the fourth seed in the tournament for good reason. I'm doing commentary because that's what I'm good at. But knowing what I know, I have Palace 4, I have Fairy, I could complete it. I think that's all I'd want to do at this point. Finish Palace 4.
Yeah, but he cannot cast Reflect at this point. He only has 4 magic containers, and I just saw the price, and it is 76. So he needs either 1 magic container or more magic levels.
Now maybe it's, again, wishful thinking, but pick up a magic level or 3 along the way. I mean, 720 experience is a bit of an ask, but pick up a pea bag here and there, get some favorable drops. I think I would be farming up for Magic 4.
Yeah, we have the knowledge that there's a magic container in the Western continent in one of the caves we haven't seen. So yeah, that's another option, and that will also give him access to the item in Magic Container Lady's house in New Kazuto.
And
we'll see if he finds Palace 1 or Palace 2 or 3, which are kind of short. That could be a good choice for him.
Well, here's the question. Is RoseCitySaint in new territory at this point?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Jump Cave was the only way to find this. And unfortunately, he finds either 3 or 6. He doesn't like what he found, so he's gonna keep exploring.
Oh, I can't blame him for that one.
And Levelengine finding Great Palace in Maze Island. Will he go for the items? Seems like it.
Yeah, surprising. Levelengine choosing not to up an A. So, gonna go into Maze Island and see what he can find.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he didn't pick up the glove or a hard container before entering Maze Island, so it is pretty appealing for him at this point. On RoseCitySaint's case, he already had the glove and a hard container, so he thought he could sacrifice those two items. And there's the magic container for RoseCitySaint, so now Palace 4 is doable for him. Let's see if he keeps looking for palaces or if he goes straight for 4. I believe he will explore for more knowledge.
Well, he didn't immediately up an A, which tells me that he's looking for, well, the remaining town.
Yeah, there's a probability of thunder being here. Or a hint, like in a maze lies the hammer.
So RoseCitySaint might be kind of slapping himself now that Levelengine going into Maze Island is going to find the hammer first.
Yeah, that's very probable. However, the item in Spectacle Rock, we don't know what it is. So. And at this point, RoseCitySaint is kind of in go mode. So what spell did he get? I missed it.
I did not see it.
And the hammer for Levelengine.
Alright, so Levelengine with the hammer. This could open up the potential of Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, best case scenario for Levelengine, that item is something like the kid or trophy or medicine, and any of those leads to thunder, but we'll see what happens. Now RoseCitySaint in Town of Middle, about to get his downstab technique, another reason to stay here.
Alright, so I think RoseCitySaint getting a bunch of gibberish from the drunken swordmaster there, but I believe I do see thunder in that first spell spot.
Yeah, looks like it.
Didn't see how much it cost to cast, but I do see it. So Levelengine going to Spectacle Rock, finding a magic container. No, that was a medicine, excuse me.
So yeah, Spectacle Rock will have the medicine, yeah. That's bad. We know that the spell from Middle won't be the thunder spell, so that's unfortunate for Levelengine.
And it looks like gonna interest himself in another hammer blocked cave. But RoseCitySaint
this one
into a palace, and it looks like he's decided, okay, this is the one I want.
Yeah, he's gonna check if it is 3 or 6. So
looks
if
like
it is 3, he will
3
go
to
for
me.
it.
But Levelengine picking up the key.
Kind of think this is 6, but let's see.
Well, we'll see soon enough. But Levelengine has Fairy and Thunder. Or excuse me, Levelengine has the key and the hammer. RoseCitySaint, Thunder, and Fairy. So it looks like Levelengine trying to go with, alright, I've got Palace 4. I can cast Reflect at Magic 4, so let's do it. RoseCitySaint getting out of that palace that he was in.
Yeah, that was Palace 6 there. And he's no fan of Palace 6. So yeah, I don't blame him. He's maybe gonna go for Dead Valley 1 or take a look if he can find the other one. However, the unfortunate thing for Levelengine is that he hasn't found either the glove or that hard container that RoseCitySaint picked up. And he's not in the Eastern Continent anymore, so yeah, probability of him going back there is pretty low.
Well, he'll have to go back there. Well, at some point, because we do know the Great Palace is in Maze Island.
Yeah. Yeah, he will go back to the east, but I mean, looking for more item caves or something like that. However,
I think it would be kind of like the old Monopoly game. Go to Great Palace, do not pass go, do not collect any more items, and just kind of call it a day. But I think Levelengine does not have thunder.
yeah, he does not.
That could be an
However,
issue.
it could be. And what I'm seeing and kind of has me puzzled is that he's opening doors without a care in the world. So I guess he has the magic key.
Yes, he does.
Could be wrong.
He does have the magic key. He found it. I want to say it's the cave where the item's on the far left. There's a little bit of lava. I'm horrible with the cave names.
So yeah, thanks to Schmitty Games rating us with a party of 23 people. So yeah, thank you very much, Schmitty Games. Great player. He was in this tournament, but had to quit it. But he's a great player and a very entertaining guy. So yeah, thanks to him. And welcome to the Zelda 2 Randomizer tournament. We are in the losers bracket, round 2 match between RoseCitySaint, last year's champion, and Levelengine. This is a death match. And RoseCitySaint in what appears to be Palace 3? Yeah, this is Palace.
Yeah, this is the companion to 6. It had the same columns on the entranceway. So if the other one was 6, this is 3. Levelengine actually noping out of Palace 4, so we may see Valley of Death in the near future. The chances of it being Palace 1 are 50-50 at this point. I believe there's one more palace on the east that we do not know, the mystery palace that could be Three-Eyed Rock or not. But it looks like RoseCitySaint finding Rebenak very quickly in Palace 3.
Yeah, Palace 3 is a pretty short palace. Very rarely turns out to be trolling. Unless you don't have things you need to progress, like the globe or something like that.
RoseCitySaint defeating Rebenak, but making a left turn, and
yeah, it's really close.
Looks like item hunting.
I think he's going for the level.
Ah, yes, the old I'm at 8 points to a level up. Yeah, just apply thunder directly to the forehead, and that'll be a magic 4 level. So that'll knock down. Well, thunder's more palatable at 71 at this point, but RoseCitySaint going to dunk his mandatory crystal, and I believe should be headed straight to Maze Island at this point.
Yes,
I can't think he would have any other stops on the itinerary, picking up Magic 5 as well. So.
Yeah, I still don't know if that is helpful, but it could have gotten the price of fire lower, and fire is linked to shield spells, so that could be helpful in Great Palace. Meanwhile, we see Levelengine in New Kasuto. He's about to pick up his spell out of there. I forgot which one it was. And RoseCitySaint entering Great Palace in 37 minutes.
Yeah, let's just call it 37 minutes. Levelengine picking up Jump.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, old Kasuto Fairy, new Kasuto was Jump. The first town was Thunder.
Yeah, an instant glove requirement in Great Palace, which is bad news for Levelengine. And yeah, neither of our players have picked up upstep technique, so that could be a thing too. I believe only one match in this tournament has required the upstep technique, but I could be wrong.
Well, I've definitely seen one so far. I may have seen two, but I believe Nightcrawler's match against RoseCitySaint required it.
Yeah, I believe it was Nightcrawler versus Boss Thunder, but I could be wrong too.
Well, I definitely remember one of Nightcrawler's games requiring it, but you know, I get a little bit of seed confusion when I go from one seed to another, so I apologize if I
yeah, especially in this
misquote one.
tournament that
And
we have.
I'm very surprised that as a runner, you don't kind of confuse a seed, you know, every so often. It's like, oh, well, this was, you know, the hammer was here, and then you kind of, oh, right, that was a different seed. Ruh-roh.
Yeah, for me that's a problem if I play the same day. But after I sleep, my mind resets. Yeah, but if I play 2 games in a row, that is pretty tough for me in that sense. Meanwhile, Levelengine in Jump Cave, he's about to find the rest of the Western continent. He will be able to get the downstep technique. Unfortunately, he didn't check for item caves in the Eastern continent to find his glove.
Oh, Levelengine stuck whacking a bot trying to get a drop. I believe he's actually gated out from casting jump at this point.
Yeah, hopefully he's not in his last life.
Well, I think that's what the problem is. He may well be on his last life, so... Very unfortunate situation is, yeah, he's going to have to up an A. He's stuck at the jump cave, not able to cast jump.
He has been unlucky with the game overs twice. Once in Dead Mountain and now here in Jump Cave. Very, very unlucky.
Yeah, so unfortunately, Levelengine's tournament life is at stake here. RoseCitySaint in the Great Palace, already completing the one mandatory palace that was required of this 1 gem seed. So Levelengine significantly behind, to say the least, but if RoseCitySaint ends up finding a loop, perhaps an upstab blocked area, this is not the end of the road for Levelengine, but it looks like time is running out. RoseCitySaint finding a dead end. And, Levelengine.
Yeah.
Again, just not able to cast jump, and he's got to throw a life away. Refill, just goes right to it, casts jump, and says, alright, I am going to finally make the jump in the jump cave.
And another thing that has been happening a lot in this tournament is going left at the ferry room, which is one of the possibilities that RoseCitySaint still has in this house.
Alright, Levelengine should pick up his downstab. He is in the town of Darunia.
Yeah, that will help a lot.
Oh no. It's just getting trolled at every possible instance. Levelengine has to stop at the old lady to get a magic refill for the 1 or 2 magic points that he was lacking to be able to cast jump a second time. But well, it looks like refreshing the stream. Hopefully we get a little more stability for a while, but Levelengine picking up shield.
Yeah, he got the item from.
Yeah, so turning in the
Spectacle
medicine,
Rock.
I believe, that he found earlier.
And that's kind of a whammy because shield is linked to fire. However, I don't remember if Levelengine picked up the fire spell. I think he did, but I'm not sure. And RoseCitySaint finding the Thunderbird.
Well, this will be interesting. If he can cast Thunder, I think, well, that's a negative. RoseCitySaint jumping right straight into the first fireball he could find. So playing a little game of catch to refill his magic.
Yeah, he has 2 chances. Attack 4 is a pretty long fight. So yeah, he has to stay very, very focused in this one. This won't be easy at all.
Well, if there's one person that I said, all right, you've got to not be hit by a Thunderbird, and I said, all right, good luck, have fun, I would pick RoseCitySaint. He's done it in the past. I expect him to be able to do it again. And commentator curse be damned, I think RoseCitySaint should be able to pull this one off again right here, right now.
Yeah, he's really good at avoiding fireballs, and this color layout is not that bad. So fireballs are pretty much visible. So yeah, no worries in that sense. And yeah, he does it. Beautiful, perfect fight, and flawless victory.
So RoseCitySaint showing why he is the defending champion. Although this year the 4th seed, and I believe someone in chat responsible for sending him down there, Nightcrawler, who is I believe fallen victim to the number 1 seed in the tournament, Buzz Thunder.
Yeah, I didn't see that match, but yeah, I got told it was a pretty good match where Nightcrawler found the glove in Palace 5.
So RoseCitySaint finding a drop. Levelengine still yet to do a palace at this point. So
I'm kind of curious about why he left Palace 4.
Well, I think we may have the ability to ask him about that once this is done, but Levelengine going into a cave at the very top of the Western continent that I do not believe RoseCitySaint was exploring, taking a game over. RoseCitySaint in the Eon drop room, down to his final life.
And there's Darkling for RoseCitySaint.
Oh, unfortunate for Levelengine. RoseCitySaint finding Dark Link, so... We'll see, fairly quick fight. Wow. That took no time at all for RoseCitySaint. So let's get those GGs in the chat for RoseCitySaint, finishing in a official time of 48 minutes and 5 seconds.
So yeah, he won last night's weekly, and now he wins his tournament race. So yeah, pretty good week for him so far.
Yeah, it's about the right time to get hot in a tournament, right at the end. Ride the wave. So with RoseCitySaint defeating Levelengine, this will bring him to his next opponent being Jay Coper, who I believe is the number 3 seed. So we'll have the 3 and 4 seed matched up in the next losers bracket round. Essentially, one of those two will end up in a 5th, 6th place situation. And one will be able to move on and face the winner of Nightcrawler and Paratroopa to see who survives the losers bracket.
Yeah, all these guys have only one life left, so yeah, it's a dead match every time in the losers bracket.
And whoever survives all of that gets the task of taking down the loser of our winner's final match, which is Buzz Thunder and Trails. So, a tough ask to run it through the losers bracket, having to go through so many quality players. But I believe we are now joined by RoseCitySaint.
Hey there, how are you guys tonight?
Oh, pretty good.
Good. This seed had me concerned right at first. It looked like another one of the stupid seeds from last night, but it lightened up pretty quickly.
Oh, no 10-minute Great Palace taking an hour plus to complete?
Yeah, right. I mean, it wasn't the one heart container start that bothered me as much as seeing how gated off the east was, and really you couldn't do a lot in the west either. And it was like, well, I guess I need boots or something from somewhere. I figured I would either find boots in Death Mountain or maybe like the trophy that would lead to Jumper Ferry so you could go through Jump Cave. It was just really odd the way you were forced right back into Death Mountain early without having to even look around on the east.
Yeah, I kind of want to tell you about Levelengine's story here.
Yeah.
He's been a little bit unlucky with some game overs at the wrong time, but the most unlucky thing for him is that the path he took to get to Maze Island wasn't the same path that he took. So he still has one heart container and he still doesn't have the glove.
Oh, that's awful, because all that stuff, like the glove, the other heart container, and all the towns were all in one little area.
Yep.
So
and
that's real. That's brutal. Yeah. Oh, that's really awful. I'm surprised that just the hunt for others, but like if you're looking for any town at all, you'd find them all, and then the other good stuff too. I'm surprised that he didn't want to keep looking around until he found something, right? Because if what you're telling me is right, then he doesn't have the fairy spell then, or anything like that, and no gloves still.
Yeah, but he's been very unlucky. He found the magic key in Maze Island. So.
Oh no, that's like the opposite. Like that's going to lead you down the wrong.
No. He found the hammer in Maze Island, which led to the key in a hammer block.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
cave.
Oh, okay, yeah. So either way, so that's even worse. It's like getting the key, but having to work extra hard for it. And when you get the key in a seed like this, you're probably thinking, okay, I can forego fairy now, which fairy wasn't required or anything like that. But if you want downstab, you're going to need either fairy or jump. Both were sort of in the same area there, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
He got jump, and now he has downstab. Fortunately for him, but however, he doesn't have the glove, and I believe the glove was pretty much required.
Yeah. GP for sure had several glove block rooms. And I think T-Bird was required too, although I can't 100% confirm that. It seemed to me, because I think I took one drop before T-Bird, and I think I saw the other 3 afterward, or something like that. Or if there was one missing, it was only one. And I don't know what the odds are of that one getting you around T-Bird, but I doubt it.
Well, we saw a drop after T-Bird. The Eon drop was after T-Bird. The L7, I think, was before. And I can't tell one way or the other if it was required or not.
Yeah, I suppose it's possible that the bottom of the L7 could take you to the Trails room, which I think was a room or 2 after T-Bird, so it's possible you can circumvent T-Bird within this seed.
So, Levelengine finding a hard container in Palace 4.
Yeah, he won't regret it, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure he just wishes he had the glove and could get a move on.
Yeah, hopefully when he gets to Maze Island and try to find a gloveless GP, he stays in the Eastern Continent looking for some items, and he will find the glove.
Yeah. I actually spent a lot of my time thinking, like, well, things went okay up until the point where I got the glove. And then after I got the glove, I was sort of hell-bent on, I wanted to get downstab, and I wanted to sort of find Palace 1 if I could. I wanted to see the other 2 palaces that I could never find before in the west. So I went back up to that area where Mito was, and that's where I sort of felt time dragging. And I'm like, oh man, this is not going terribly fast. For all I know, my opponent is halfway through GP by now. I wasn't in a terrible hurry to place that gem, and then it occurred to me, I'm a little late placing this gem. So I was really not too confident, like, heading into GP, and that's what led me to do things like, go down at the Jackamus room instead of right. Just feeling a little bit of that pinch on taking my time placing that gem.
Yeah, you even took a peek inside Palace 6.
Yeah, I thought at first it was 3. I kind of misidentified it. I didn't see a room right away. I mean, I guess the enemy set should have told me what I needed to know, but sometimes I get stubborn, and I just like to see a little bit more.
Yeah, you never know when you're going to get a free Palace 6.
Yeah, as soon as I realized it was Palace 6, I said, I'm going to peace out. I knew by that time that 1 was in Valley of Death, but I said, nah, 3 is going to be right there. It's directly on the way to GP, so let's just do 3. That sounds good.
Yeah, very rarely P3 trolls you, unless you don't have the glove or something like that.
Yeah, I was going to actually ask about that, with what led you to decide to do Palace 3 as opposed to 1.
Just the routing, just simply not wanting to go into Valley of Death and then back my way out. That's a potential 6 fairy feats you have to execute, and I knew 3 was directly on the way.
Okay, so it was just completely the routing, not anything to do with the palace itself. Okay.
Yeah, by that time I had the glove, there was no fear of Palace 3.
If it were any other palace, would you have reconsidered that? Just out of blind speculation?
Yeah, there was another one, like right next to it, in the same area that had all 4 towns and the glove, and Palace 3 was also Palace 2 was sitting right there. But as Victor can attest, we're not going to do Palace 2 when Palace 3 is available.
Nope.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Just in case there are people that are not as experienced in the chat, so that's why I want to ask some of these questions.
Sure.
hey, if you have a choice between, Palace A or Palace B, which ones would you have liked to have seen kind of where Palace 3 was?
So yeah, Palace 2 is bigger than Palace 3. That sounds counterintuitive, but that's the way it is. Palace 2 is way bigger than Palace 3. And the way the rooms are laid out in Palace 2 makes it so you can get tons of consecutive rooms that lead you to a dead end and make you lose a lot of time. And also it makes it in a way that you have to make 50-50 choices all the time. So yeah, Palace 2 tends to troll you a lot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. Palace 2 was like a slightly smaller version of Palace 5. It can often force you to choose between, like, having to go through 2 lefts or something. And yeah, you just often end up with garbage. At least Palace 3, even if you wind up at a dead end, you're always trying to move right, and it seems almost always your options are to move right. So at Palace 3, it's just much easier to go with the flow, and there's fewer rooms on top of that, so definitely. Now, 2 is not a bad option. I already determined that 1 was in Valley of Death, and I didn't really feel like going in there. I probably would have done 2 if push came to shove, but yeah, you saw me leave 6 right away, because 6 can be a nightmare, especially with the amount of magic I had. I think at that time I could only cast Fairy once, or if I could cast it twice, it was a stretch. So yeah, it could get really dicey in there if you don't have the key.
Yeah, another reason why Palace 3 is better than Palace 2 is that you have 3 dead ends in each one, but in Palace 3 you get rewarded by 2 of those, because you get either the item or the boss, and the other one could be a key or a P-back, so you even get rewarded from the 3 of them. But in Palace 2, two out of the 3 dead ends to the right are garbage. So yeah, that's another reason why Palace 3 is much better. So fortunately enough for Levelengine, I believe he's in the item room that leads him to the glove. And he is, so
he'll be very disappointed when he sees it to know how easy it was to grab.
Yeah, this is all unfortunately unexplored territory for Levelengine. He came from a completely different path through the Eastern Continent, but he does know where Great Palace is, and I think that should be exactly where he ends up in short order at this point, because nothing really is going to stop him at this point, though he is lacking thunder. I believe.
Well, the tracker shows that he has thunder.
Oh, he does have thunder. Okay. I did not see... Oh, alright. Yeah. Don't mind me.
Yeah, he has nothing to fear. Besides getting lost in this palace. How do you think was this palace? It's a little bit trolly, but...
It wasn't great. It was, especially, you're talking... I mean, at least I didn't have the life spell. It doesn't look like Level does either. And with only 2 heart containers, that's the same I had. I would give a difficulty... You have what I believe is a forced T-Bird fight. So, I would give this one like a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. This was not easy. You had to go through a lot of crappy waffle rooms, a lot of lag. You had to choose between lefts. Yeah, this first room sucked, and it really made you regret when I had to up an A, as I did at first. Now, Level might get lucky, because I did sort of a slightly unconventional play. I went down in the Jackamus room instead of going right, and it turns out going right is the correct way. So he can save himself that burden if he doesn't do that. But still, I would say just having to do the T-Bird fight, were even if he's able to cast shield, because he has more magic containers than I did, even if he's able to cast shield, I don't think he can survive a single hit. So that sort of raises the stakes when you're at attack 4 and can't survive a hit. that's going to be like a, that's like a watershed moment to fight T-Bird like that.
Yeah, and congratulations on that fight. It was flawless, and
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, very few of us will have been able to make it. On my side, I think that's kind of an impossible call unless I'm really focused, but that doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, my best advice on that is to just go slow and don't do anything risky. Don't try to get triple hits. Just take a couple hits that he'll give you and back off. Slow but steady wins the race in those situations where you can't survive a hit. Don't try to be a hero.
Yeah, I was kind of, disappointed that you didn't give us the information on if you could survive a hit or not.
I'm certain that I couldn't, because I was life 5, 2 bars of health, and I was unable to cast shield, so there is no way I would have survived. Now, if Level can cast shield one time, I'll give him like a 1 in 3 chance of surviving a hit, but I predict that if he takes a hit, he'll go down.
Oh, that's going to be brutal.
Yeah, we're about to find out because he's taking the right way in the Jackimo's room. So, did you go down in the Jackimo's room because you fell behind, or?
Somewhat. I mean, I didn't know for sure that I was behind, but I just wanted to take one peek to the right, and when I saw the room that I did, it's like one of those open chamber rooms with an elevator that goes down. I tend not to like that. If I see that to the right of the Jackimus room, I'm probably going to take the Jackimus room down. Because when you go down, there's like a very high probability the next room is a right, and that could be Dark Link right there. So just based on the next room being a down versus the next room being a right, I want the next room to be a right.
Okay, so now Levelengine about to take the drop.
No, here's the drop before Thunderbird.
Yeah, he's going the right way.
However, he has 2 lives, and this one is kind of wasted already, so he will probably get only 1 shot.
Yeah. It's worth noting that Level has the exact same levels that I do, which is interesting. This seed provided some 500-point P-bags, which was a nice, friendly little boost, considering it only started you with the 1 heart container.
Ooh, Levelengine actually nopes out of the T-Bird fight.
Ooh.
So, yeah, the thing could be that he finds the bottom of the L7, and that leads him after the bird, but we still don't know if that's a possibility.
Well, we'll see soon enough what he ends up finding. No, he was not thrilled about that room, so he's seemingly resigned to a T-Bird fight if he takes this elevator going up, so he knows what's there. So he'll have 1 shot at this Thunderbird. I don't believe he can cast Thunder as is right now, so he may have to play everybody's favorite game of Catch a Fireball.
Sometimes you get lucky and you can grind small enemies, like if they got them flying fish heads or bots or something, you can grind them until you get enough magic, but that's not happening in this scenario.
Yeah, there's... it looked like Levelengine was kind of looking for, okay, what can I try to get anything from? That's just not going to happen when all you have are fireballs in a paperclip room.
So the good thing for him is that he was able to cast the shield spell, but yeah, we still don't know if he can survive a hit.
I kind of doubt it, but if they were able to cast Reflect instead of Shield, that probably would have been a better option. But I didn't see the cost of Reflect, but I doubt if that was even doable.
Reflect was kind of beefy because he had to take a death to cast Reflect when he did Palace 4. Let's see, with 6 bars he would have 96 magic points to work with. So if he opens up his spell book again, we can kind of do a little quick math. Oh, he took a hit.
He was able to survive a hit, but he took another.
Oh, what a shame. So Levelengine was able to survive a hit on about 2 HP. I saw a small little sliver of life left. But, oh, what a shame.
Yeah, so
that was unfortunate because Thunderbird was in his last bar. So
I know that was a good fight. He demonstrated there for sure that he definitely has the ability to take out T-Bird, especially with that added safety net of being able to absorb a hit. But we confirmed that for sure with shield. It only left him with a sliver of health, so that means without shield it'd do about almost 4 bars of health. So yeah, that's curtains if you're not wearing shield.
Yeah, so for you it was definitely perfect Thunderbird or bust.
Yeah, I knew that. There was zero doubt in my mind. I was going to go as slow as I needed to.
And yeah, attack 4 is a pretty long fight.
And it wasn't brutal, though, in this seed. I guess attack 4 randomized to feel more like attack 5, in my opinion, anyway. It didn't drag to, an insane degree.
Yeah, I trust you on that one. And now, I believe Levelengine will look for different stuff, maybe? Did you see this Dark Magician room?
No, what he's seeing now is news to me.
Okay, so yeah, he's doing the wise thing, and that's checking the rest of the palace, because he doesn't know if Thunderbird is required or not. And he gets the second bird in the cage.
That's really unlucky when you're hoping for a jar and you get a freaking bird.
However, the way he's dealing with it has proven to be very good. Yeah, he survived the room. Wow, I'm impressed.
These rooms here are a good reason to have upstab, by the way. I didn't stop for it in this seed, but using upstab can help you maneuver through those waffles and avoid some bird night hits from time to time. I do recommend upstab in most situations. I might be alone on that, but I do.
Yeah, but yeah, the way this seed progressed, it was a huge waste of time to enter the town of Darunia only to get the down.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like if you have the kid, that's a good reason. Like if you're in town, stop by if you're in town maybe, but I didn't feel the need to go there anyway. Now, that might have been a different story if I didn't have the jump spell. Having the jump spell allows you to attack those waffles a little bit better, a little bit cleaner. You just go above a lot of the enemies. Now, if you don't have that advantage, then you are going to want the upstab to really help you climb through those waffles and get away from the enemies a little bit more effectively than you could if you have neither jump nor upstab.
Yeah, now Levelengine, I believe he has only 2 lives. Let's see what happens to him, but yeah, probably the wisest thing to do at this point is doing an apnea at this.
I think he wants to just explore, but no sooner do you say it than he turns around and does it. So I think he decided that, alright, I am not going to win this war of attrition here.
Yeah, most of us... Sorry, Victor.
He did the first time, he survived. But when he found the dead end, just going back through that one, especially with the 2 birds waiting for him in the elevator, that was just too hard.
I was just going to comment that most of us who run this game have been in this situation before where you go through kind of a crappy GP, it's not the best, you see a T-Bird fight that wipes you out, and then you spend the rest of your time looking for other pads and just praying, I hope T-Bird isn't required. And then you slowly come to the realization, oh crap, he is.
Yeah, that happens a lot. It's not a nice feeling.
Is there that thought in your head that you go, okay, I see T-Bird, he may not be required, let me, about face, go left, find another way?
Sure, that's fairly common in Max Rando. If you're a low survivability, if it's one of those seeds where you only have a heart or two and you can't survive a hit, or if, like, you're forced in a GP early and you only have attack 3, and you just know you're in for a painful T-Bird fight, yeah, just because his room, has a right-hand exit to it, you can definitely nope out and go explore something else. I'd even consider it a good strategy in a lot of cases.
Yeah, I would be doing this too if I were Levelengine. And now he's exploring the area below the Jackimus room.
Yeah, this is just a series of crap. I think it's like 2 waffle rooms, 2 curtain rooms, and a dead end. Like, it's infuriating what's below the Jackimus room.
Yeah, I believe this was explored by you while Levelengine was still out and about in the world.
Yep, and it was nothing good. Not even an outlet, no drop. Just pain.
Oh no. So another up and A in Levelengine's future once he gets to the end of this and finds the same dead end you did?
Absolutely.
So after the Jackimus room, is there a forced drop into that cluster that has T-Bird?
I think so.
Or is there an option?
No, I think there's a forced drop, and then you end up going left. And then after that left, you have an option of going up or more lefts. And I took the up, and that sort of leads you into T-Bird.
Yeah, and I believe we've seen the left, which is a dead end, one of the drop destinations. So I believe, yeah, T-Bird is pretty much required.
Well, I'm surprised Level backed out of the dead end rather than hitting an immediate up and A.
Yeah, he's halfway through getting back to the Jackimus room. Oh yeah, but I forgot about these waffles.
Yeah, there's few things in life that feel quite like backtracking through a crappy waffle room.
Yeah, and he takes a death to the bluebird, and he has only 1 life.
At this point, I'm kind of surprised that he's not just up and A-ing, because he knows he's going to have to deal with Thunderbird at this point, I believe.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was shocked when he did an up and A upon arriving at that dead end.
Yeah,
I can't think of another route that he could possibly take at this point that takes him, in a different route that he hasn't already seen.
I think there was one. I think there's one sort of right before T-Bird, right before you take that elevator up and right into T-Bird. I think there may have been another voluntary left that at least that I didn't try. That could be a thing. I don't recall if he tried it or not.
So yeah, this one leads you down. And if you go to the right, it is the dead end, and if you go left, there could be something different, I guess. But he takes a dead end, a game over.
Oh, no.
That's unfortunate.
That might be for the better. Just hurry up, get it over with, and begin the march to T-Bird again.
Yeah, I think this palace is not that big if you start from the beginning. It's kind of longer if you backtrack, because the rooms are tough, but this beginning is kind of short, and it kind of leads you to the different options you have.
The lag, though, oh my god, the lag
Yeah,
in this first room is so bad. It was just, and I don't even. There was only 2 bird knights. Like, that doesn't seem like too much.
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't.
Sometimes you can get 3 of them and a spicy chicken on top, and that makes it a little more understandable. But I don't know. That room, it just hurts to look at.
But yeah, as you can see, he's already in the Jackimus room. So yeah, that beginning isn't that long, but sometimes it is pretty hard to estimate those distances when you are playing. So now we will see what lies if he goes down this elevator and to the left. And yeah, if it is the L7 drop, which could lead him into the T-Bird thing or into the Trails room, and this is the Trails.
If it's the Trails room, he hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now
So
he's in
T-Bird
the Eon
wasn't
drop
required.
and he just needs to not take the Eon drop at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow, so you could circumvent T-Bird. T-Bird only semi-required, I guess you could say.
So Levelegine's going to find himself in a battle to the death here with Dark Link, skipping the T-Bird fight, but it looks like the roundabout was very costly time-wise to find, but Levelengine at the finish line, 2 lives left, so hopefully he'll be able to manage this fight, not find himself in the land of tilt and just kind of throw it all away. But
Don't be a hero, cast shield like I did.
Yeah, with Darking, you never know. He can jump you like 3 times and you're done.
well,
So yeah.
for those left in the chat, let's get those GGs going. An official time, 1 hour, 20 minutes, 54 seconds. Levelengine finishes the seed, and unfortunately for him, finishes his time here in the Max Rando tournament, finishing in a tie for 7th and 8th. So, we'll see if he comes in for an interview, but RoseCitySaint, if you're still around, good luck in your next match against Jay Coper.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That'll be a good one. I think I faced him in the last tournament and look forward to doing so again.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a rough road ahead of you the rest of the way. You'll have to go through the winner of
Nightcrawler and Paratroopa, I believe.
Yeah, Paratroopa and Nightcrawler will be the next opponent if you are able to advance past Jay Coper. So you might be able to get some revenge on Nightcrawler, who was responsible for sending you down here in the first place.
Oh, I'm sure he's more than confident that he'll beat me again.
Well,
You can bet on it.
I'd love to see the rematch. What better way to get revenge on the person who sends you down into the loser's bracket?
Well, I'm not looking past Jay Coper. He's too good, so we'll just focus on Jay Coper for now.
Well, yeah, hey, you do what you gotta do, RoseCitySaint.
Yes.
I know you gotta win the match that's up ahead of you next to look forward to the one beyond it. So, good luck.
Thank you very much.
So we have Levelengine in the room. How did that feel, sir?
Like I was being tortured?
Oh, no.
You were very unlucky in this one. Like, really unfortunate.
We both must have had it tough, but I probably had it worse, most likely, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna blame the pass-through cave that was on top of the raft tile in the Eastern Continent. I'm gonna blame the race on that cave because you took it the first time you went through, and that led you to Maze Island.
And then to a hammer that still didn't do much, right? What did the hammer do again for me?
Yeah, and all the important stuff was on the top of the overworld in the Eastern Continent. The glove, there was another hard container there, so there was a hard container in the desert tile. So yeah,
I never saw that one.
As soon as RoseCitySaint walked through the north of that Eastern Continent, things got really got moving for him. So yeah, that was unlucky on your side. We were gonna ask you about why did you leave Palace 4? What happened in Palace 4?
Didn't feel like I was going to be able to take on that blue iron knuckle under-equipped.
Oh, okay. In which room was that?
Before one of the 3 dead ends in P4.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, one hard container seats are pretty tough. But
This
yeah, you
one,
did great.
Especially.
You did great in that waffle room that has the jar and the flying enemies in it. The first time you went through that one and you survived, although that wasn't the way to go, but yeah, that was a very good way of dealing with the enemies in that room. So yeah, this was a pretty interesting. See, the Western Continent jump locked, and
well, a good half of the West Continent was jump locked. I just want to see what Chad has to say about me getting like destroyed here. I wonder if any people are laughing at me.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Doesn't look like it.
No, because
anyone who runs these seeds themselves will probably understand.
Happen to them the next time they run a seed. So there's a little bit of professional courtesy in that regard because they know it could happen to them.
So yeah, we got a first one, but I think you encouraged them. And yeah, and T-Bird wasn't required. We didn't know that, so thank you for showing that.
Well, I failed to kill Thunderbird, then still got the Dark Link and finished the seed ultimately. So who rolled the seed anyways?
I did.
Who was I?
I'm Blue. I'm the restreamer.
Leading Blue?
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have to revoke your privileges for rolling seeds.
Well, so the last time I restreamed one of these matches, it was RCS's last match. I didn't actually roll the seed, but I was the restreamer, and it was a re-roll against all odds. So I think I'm going to be banned from this tournament for life at this point.
Yeah, for reals. Last night's weekly was absolutely garbage, too. I mean, it was just so regrettable.
Oh, this sounds like I'm going to have to start learning how to roll seeds at this point, because I may be the only one left that's available to do it.
Yeah, you just type stuff into the IRC. It's pretty easy. I'll give you the string, and you can be the next victim.
Yeah, rolling a seed is not difficult. Just we need someone new to give it a shot.
I do the word things. That's it. That's all I do. That's my department. Deny everything. Well,
So yeah, guys, this was a great race. It didn't seem like it was close, but yeah, at some points.
I don't think it was close.
well, it was just
Yeah,
a matter of, I think,
fortunate.
all of the bad luck kind of just hitting you at the worst possible times. There were a couple times where you're like right in front of an item that you need to take a game over, and you know the time loss alone was just humongous.
And that must have happened in several places in the seed for me.
How did Level do getting the boots compared to me? Because that's sort of like that would mark the sort of first leg of this seed, in my opinion. Just having to go back, or unless Level did Death Mountain first and getting those boots.
It was like 5 minutes later,
Okay.
probably. But the problem was that he game overed in Hammer Cave, so he had to do that
Oh,
once again.
Oh yeah, that's
Also, he was looking for Hammer Cave from the other entrance, and so that took him quite a while to. That was another unfortunate thing. Hammer Cave was really close to the boulder. The entrance where you
close
could
to
see
the
the boulder.
entrance on the top right corner of the bottom of the west.
yeah. I used the entrance near the raft spot, and that gave you direct access.
That was the good entrance.
Yep.
I used
Yeah,
the
so that
much
was a matter
worse
of
one.
luck. And I also understand, Level, that you did not stumble into the area in the east that had all 4 towns in the glove right away, that you sort of went in the opposite direction.
And I could have used some of those spells probably.
Yeah, so right there, like that's one of those things about Max Rando where it's just a simple matter of you go left and I go right. It just that can be all the difference in setting up a huge advantage for one player versus the other.
Yeah, that's the way this goes.
Well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate the commentary and whatnot, and thanks for the game, Level. Good effort.
All
Yeah, I
right.
suppose it was. The odds just weren't in my favor at all there.
Hey, I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace out.
Yeah. Thank you both, Levelengine and RoseCitySaint, for running for us today, and of course Victor and Frico for commentating. I don't believe we have any matches scheduled right now for the rest of this tournament. We're waiting for the next few matches, so don't have anything to announce for you yet for Z2R, but we do have the weeklies on Tuesday night, so tune in for that. You guys have anything you want to add?
No, thanks to you guys for making this possible. Thanks to Bleeding Blue for the restream. And of course to ZeldaSpeedRuns for making this possible. So yeah, and Frico for joining me and making things enjoyable for us.
Yeah, a little issue with the early going there in that seed, but I think that ended up happening to a good bit of us. I think there was an issue with the stream itself. I also had an issue with my mic, but at the end of the day, we get it all sorted out, and here we are.
Yeah, we had some struggles early in the stream, unfortunately, but we pieced it together with some duct tape, and hopefully it wasn't so bad for you guys. Alright, well, I think we'll call it a night then. Thank you for everybody that came by and watched the race, and we'll see you for the next one.
Alright, good night everyone.
Yeah, good night everybody.
Have a good night, everybody.